medicine and surgery. And I'm sure that with her this evening, we are going to explore different topics that highlight the power of teamwork, that showcase real world success stories and look ahead to what the future holds for animal health globally, with emphasis on Nigeria. So I encourage you all to please fully engage today. Post your questions in the chat box. Share your thoughts when the opportunity comes. Also connect with fellow attendees. We are Vet Konect, and our aim is to ensure that we connect veterinarians, all around the world. So please connect with your fellow attendees, and most of all, be inspired by the incredible impact we can have when we work together. So a few quick housekeeping notes before we dive in. One, our speaker would have a time for presentation, followed by a brief question and answer section. So please feel free to type your questions in the question and answer box during the talk, and we'll get to as many as time allows us. And don't forget to stay until the end. Please don't leave before we are done. We have some exciting announcements and resources you won't want to miss. So thank you once again for being here. Your presence shows your commitment to the future of veterinary medicine and the health of animals everywhere. All right, so let's kick things off and make this World Veterinary Day to remember. Dr. Puspa, we are so glad to have you here this evening. And just before you dive in, I would be reading your biography for the world to hear, because this is going to spread to the world. All right. Dr. Puspa Ramloo, DVM, has been actively practicing small animal medicine and surgery for 26 years, since graduating in 1998. Now I can wonder what was going through Dr. Puspa's mind when she asked when I graduated. In 1998, she began in her hometown in Malaysia, opening Puba Animal Clinic in 2000, where she would foster a passion for animal welfare for 13 years. Those foundational years provided a great deal of experience and learning in terms of going above and beyond basic pet care. In moving to Lagos, Nigeria, Dr. Puspa's zeal for pet care in an expatriate community allowed her to continue pursuing her mission of providing top-notch veterinarian care services and proper diagnosis, leading to essential treatment or surgery in a holistic manner. This mission of hers is embodied by her latest development, House of Pluto, an animal care hospital equipped with technologically advanced diagnostic and treatment tools, highly trained staff, a meticulously maintained pet hotel, and much more. Presently at House of Pluto, Dr. Puspa feels that arriving at a definitive holistic diagnosis while making clients and their pets alike feel comfortable is the greatest achievement. She is determined to treat the pet as her first and foremost priority, paying the utmost attention to their needs as patients and clients. Although highly experienced in all areas, she is particularly well-versed in the fields of dermatology, soft tissue surgery, and veterinary practice management. Dr. Puspa is actively involved in veterinary education and scientific conferences. She has presented in Malaysia and internationally in World Veterinary Conference, including the Vet Konect World Veterinary Day webinar this night. So please join me. You can just clap using the emoji. Join me as I welcome the highly referenced and highly intellectual Dr. Puspa Ramloo. You have the floor, ma. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Abiadun. That was amazing. Before I go further, a very good evening and happy World Veterinary Day to all of you. Thank you for making the time, though it has been a very long day and it's 8 o'clock at night. I'm not here to bore you all. Like Dr. Abiadun was saying, it's like I asked him, it's like you all seem to be very fresh graduates or young veterinarians. It's not to say that I'm a senior or, been practicing some time, but I am just so impressed with the young veterinarians, you all especially, with the team Vet Konekt that, just before this talk, I went into Vet Konekt website and I registered my pet just to see, how the page is working and how you all bringing this up and, putting it together. Congratulations to Vet Konekt to be able to do this on this special day. And I am personally very honored, to be invited to speak to you all today. So with that, again, I would like to thank Vet Konekt and the team for giving me the opportunity to speak. This is, again, truly an honor. It's not going to be a boring one, and I'm not going to speak so much. Instead, if you go back home by now, probably we'll switch on TV and put some food on the plate and sit down in front of the TV and, have a snack or dinner, correct? So with that, I would like to entertain all of you today with something, this presentation. So let's have a look at this.
Dr. Puspa, we can see the video, but we cannot hear the sound. Is there a way that can be possible? Dr. Puspa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Did everyone get to see the video? Dr. Abiadun, did you all get to see the video and listen to the audio? Everyone is muted. Okay, that's fine. Now, this video, I hope everyone enjoyed. This is one of my favorite video for, to talk about teamwork, because our theme today, animal health takes a team. So we have to be in a team to be working together. The video clearly says that we can do greater things together. Like always, the proverb says that if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. If you want to go far, you walk together. So today in Nigeria, I want to walk together with everyone, and I want everyone to walk together with me. Imagine if all of us can do things the right way. We understand people of all kind, but also all kind of people make the world. Teamwork is about sharing common passion. What connects all of us in our profession today, and I believe it is also our passion. When we make our passion as our profession, or even our profession as our passion, life becomes easy and beautiful. That leads us to happiness and fulfillment in life. Teamwork is about communication, respect for each other, and trustworthiness. As you saw, the last part of the video, it showed a rocket. A rocket goes to the moon, and that also says the sky is the limit when we move as a team. Now, what consists of animal health team? This goes, globally, internationally, the same, yeah? The team consists of veterinarians, whether it's a small animal practitioner, large animal, poultry, veterinary technician, and nurses who are there to always assist us and make things easier. The pet parent, the farmers, the communication that goes in this circle creates the structure where puts a system in place if it is conducted well. For instance, we as small animal practitioners, we would need a nutritionist to work on the right diet for our pets, which makes things easy for us. All nutrients are put in together and fed as ready-made kibbles or canned food. The behaviorists study and tell us that what is normal and abnormal in animal behavior, because they have studied and watched these animals before producing the fact as journals, articles, and resources for us. Can you imagine that we have people watching the same turtle coming back to the same shore every year to lay eggs? We would not have known this without a behaviorist, researchers. Without them, we would not know a character of a virus or microorganism. We might not have vaccines and the right medication for illnesses. Academicians who spend their time being in the academic line to contribute to the higher learning institution in various levels and field of education, and molding the students to become the veterinarians. Pharmaceutical that invest money and manufacture the right drugs, vaccines, and products for the well-being of the welfare of the animals. All of them are interconnected. The more connected they are, the more results we can see as results in the animal health and welfare. So it is very important that, we recognize all these teams and we work hand in hand with everyone. With that, I would like to just share another kind of short video of what it is like, to conduct or to have an organization as such.
From preventive care to aftercare, everyone in the veterinary team has a role to play. Veterinary View went behind the scenes at a small animal practice in Lancashire to see how the team there works together to ensure the best possible care for animals and clients.
My name is Kira Sutcliffe. As a head veterinary nurse, I do various job roles, mainly supporting and supervising my nursing team. But I also assist and take part in lots of different jobs. It can be admitting animals for operations, through to assisting the vet with anaesthesia and in surgery. I love everything about my job. I don't like seeing animals come in unwell, but it's certainly very pleasing to see them walking out the door and seeing the client, relieved from all the worry and the stress.
My name is Robin Hargreaves and I'm a veterinary surgeon. My job's in many respects the same as it's always been. I'm still a vet primarily. I do normal consulting surgery in a general practice, but obviously now with an ownership position I have management responsibilities and looking after a staff which has grown to be about 50, which takes a little bit of dealing with on top of the clinical work that I've always done. On the whole, I love living and working in the community. It's what I left school to do. The best thing about the job for me is how proud everybody is to work here. I think people walk out of this building proud that they've done a good day's work, and we're happy to walk out in the community because we know that people respect what we do.
My name is Alison Wilson and I'm a veterinary surgeon. My job at the practice involves consulting, so seeing animals as they come in for routine vaccinations and routine appointments. The second part of my job is surgical, so doing the actual surgery in the theatre and checking x-rays, taking x-rays and doing things like dentals as well. There's a lot of things I like about my job. I like the intricacy of the surgery. I like getting involved with clients and building a relationship with clients and their pets. Anyone that's had a pet will tell you that it's the first port of call as soon as something goes wrong, which inevitably at some point in a pet's life it will. And our main job is to make sure that the animal is not suffering.
My name is Mina Panola. I'm a kennel assistant. My job entails cleaning the kennels, the animal accommodation. When I come in, I usually check that everything's what needs doing, go around the surgery. Then I usually disinfect some surgical instruments. I sometimes take some dogs out and feed animals and clean up after them. And the rest of the time we do laundry. I think a lot of people think we just play with puppies and, have a good time, but the truth is it is quite dirty work and it is hard work. So, yeah, I don't think a lot of people do realise what goes into it.
My name is but I'm an animal person, so getting to see all the little puppies and kittens and really building a rapport up with those when they're coming in for regular checks. So we get to see them grow.
The proudest thing is the team that we've built and the people that we've developed from school leavers through to true professionals. Now, the veterinary nursing profession is a profession. And we've got people here who joined us at 16. We've trained them. We've developed them. They now run departments for us. They're independent professional people. And to have grown those people in our own practice, that's the thing I'm proudest of.
Thank you for watching this. Now, the reason I chose this video, I wish I have made a video in House of Pluto, going from department to department, doing exactly the same thing like British Veterinary Association has done. But I was very excited to share this video so that it's not only, you saw every person doing and playing their role in different departments. But I also want you to have a look how the hospital layout was, how the veterinary surgeons were presenting, how the animals were presented on the examination table. So I have a mission in Nigeria to see this happening in every single hospital in Nigeria someday. And I have a very, very great hope that the younger generation, the people who are attending the talk today, probably you guys are part of it, to have these manifested someday. Here in House of Pluto, we do the same thing. We have a department where we have a clinical department that every one of us as veterinarians, we play our role. And not only in House of Pluto, we also send out blood samples to external labs like Dr. Abiade's place, Pet Care Animal Hospital, that, instead of two veterinary clinics, looking at each other as competition, instead of looking at them as a competition, we look at them as partners. So I always believe in, collaboration than competition. By collaborating with your partners, we will be able to achieve more. So now, why must we do that, first of all? Okay. Collaboration among veterinarians, animal caretakers, such as pet owners or farmers, nutritionists, other experts ensures that animals receive comprehensive care. It also addresses the Now, how do we look at it in, when we see it, it's an improved health outcomes. So teamwork leads to better health outcomes for animals as professionals. We share knowledge, we share expertise and resources to provide the best possible care. Collaboration streamlines care, reducing costs and improving efficiency, which benefits both animals and their caretakers. Teamwork promotes a culture of care and compassion, prioritizing animal welfare and ensuring that animals receive the respect and the treatment they deserve. For instance, If you are a small animal a veterinarian or a clinic or a hospital, accepting and taking another small animal practitioner as your ally is definitely essential, just like how I just mentioned. So in here, let's say, your pet parent is carrying a pet to you, but then they wanted a second opinion from you. And now that they walking into your practice, and now they're gonna say that, oh, I went to so and so, and my pet is still not okay. So there's a lot of complaints, because that's clearly either shows the pet parent is not satisfied, so that they are unsatisfied pet parent, or they just running away from probably paying bills. They just want to. So this can happen in your practice, but what are you supposed to do in that case? You should never criticize our colleagues. We try to play a very diplomatic role. All you have to do is you have to listen to them, but at the same time, you put the welfare of the patient above anything and everything. So now you are there to treat your patient. Instead of talking about your, colleague, or, adding fuel to the fire, you should completely, put that aside. Yes, you heard them, but put them aside. But now you have a look at the pet, see what you can do. So this is something that I would always, encourage, especially small animal practitioners, to do this. By doing this, we are respecting our fellow colleague. At the same time, we are trying to, have a healthy practice. Yeah, so these would increase the efficiency of, whatever that we are doing, and it also enhances the animal welfare, which is the main topic, why we all are collaborating, and why, we all have to work together. We speak to the lab when, samples are sent out to the lab, and we communicate with the lab. What do you really want? What do you really expect to see, out of the results? If you see the result is like, not really resonating with the clinical science, probably you could just, pick the phone and speak to the lab people, and explaining a little bit of the clinical science and more of your case. So these would also enhance the relationship between these two teams, which is like you're not under the same organization, but you are two different teams or three different teams, but you are just trying to put all of them together. And how do you make this happen? Like I said, it has to have a clear communication. So how can we have this very clear communication? So I would say member from every team should communicate clearly and effectively to ensure that everyone is on the same page. So let us say that you were the farm vet who treated a goat that's been ill, and then you're sending sample to a lab to get a diagnosis done. Communication on the history, clinical science, and treatment done would be essential to be communicated. But I know that, the labs also gives you a form to fill up. Why do you think it's necessary for us to fill it up? But most of us do ignore that part. So this is what I would say, when you do something, do it correctly or do it properly. And transparency would always create a better trust. Listening to our pet parent or farmers is also very, very crucial. Yeah. And hearing them helps us to get a better diagnosis as well. Always remember to explain and make the pet parent understand what's your treatment plan, why you choose to do that, and of course, finally, never fail to communicate the cost implication. We being veterinarians, I don't know, somehow we think we are lesser than the medical doctors. I think most veterinarians have this. In fact, when I first started practicing, I also kind of try to avoid the topic of talking about the cost, because we always think that it's just animal. How can I charge that much? So we have to change this mindset. But before changing this mindset, we must also know and be competent enough to be doing the right thing. So we are, equipped with the knowledge, we are equipped with the experience. Even if you don't have experience, always, seek for help from other senior veterinarians. Or these days, there is something called Google. You can open up your textbook, but, make sure you do the right thing. And when we talking about team, each team member should have a clear understanding of their role and responsibilities. I would say, like in House of Pluto, we have teams that, we have a lead vet, we have a vet who's more in charge of the radiology, we have a vet who's more in charge of the, lab, and we have a vet who's in charge of the inventory. So when everyone know their responsibilities well, it becomes easier in any organization. Practice healthy relationship. I would say team members should always respect each other's expertise and perspectives. You may have different ideas and feel free to communicate about it with respect and open mind. Yes, you can have different opinion, but respect the other person's opinion. So I would say, also learn to agree, to disagree. And regular meetings can help team members to stay informed and aligned. As a small organization, we tend to have like meetings every now and then so that we can communicate about what are our problems, what are our challenges, how can we, overcome this. So this again, comes with the organization. The reason I'm talking about a small organization is it all starts from a very small organization. Just like you start from a family, dad, mom, children, you all eat together. And when you're eating or when you're getting together, you have some problems, you may talk about it. And from there, you take it further. Let's say the children is growing in the nice environment where dad and mom respecting each other, and the children are heard, and the parents are also listening to the children. These are the children usually, tend to grow up in a very fine environment, and they come out to school. When they come out to school, they also tend to behave the same way. But, of course, environment can have other factors and change you as well. But in school, you also have the same kind of environment. You respect people, you communicate well, you trust people. So all this, you apply it there. And then from school, then you go out to work and you tend to practice the same. Let's say you create an organization, and if everyone creates, organization as such, imagine all these organizations, collaborating with each other, what happens? And in Nigeria, how can we do things differently in Nigeria? Or maybe even, do things probably, I would say, better? So to improve animal health and welfare in Nigeria, a multifaceted approach is definitely needed. This would include strengthening policies and regulations. There was one time, this was about, rabies vaccination. So I gave a 3-yearly rabies vaccine to a dog, and the dog goes out, the dog needs to be, transported to a different country because they were relocating. And now the quarantine vet says that, oh no, you have to vaccinate the dog every year. And I was trying to tell him that I used a 3-yearly vaccine, and this dog has already been always vaccinated, and he's about 7 years old, and this is a 3-yearly vaccine. So I don't see the need why I must vaccinate the dog every year when the dog already has enough antibody titer for rabies, and the vaccine that I use is a 3-yearly vaccine. So speaking to the vet at the quarantine, he said that this is our policy and this is our regulations. I understand the regulations. Nigeria is a not a rabies-free country, but at the same time, the 3-yearly vaccine should be able to protect the dog from getting rabies or spreading rabies. Now, what was the problem there? The problem was the policy or the regulation which was not updated since 1987 or 1997. So this is what I'm saying, that, we have to, step up, we have to change things, we have to, strengthen our policies by changing it to the current. So if everyone is doing their things, righteously, I think, we will be able to achieve that. Now, raising public awareness and promoting One Health approach that, most of us have already started on that considers the interconnectedness of animal, human, and environmental health. Just before this session, I was just listening to our president of NVMA, Dr. Moses, speaking. If you all have a chance, please try to listen to what Dr. Moses says on this special day, that he wants, the interconnectedness between this animal, human, and the environmental health that is very, very crucial, we as veterinarians to be practicing. Specifically, this involves enacting and enforcing animal welfare laws, providing access to veterinary care and healthcare products, and educating farmers and the public about the responsible animal husbandry practice. Now, I would always say teamwork ultimately makes the dream work. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So there are 3 things that I would say that's very, very important, not only in life and in our profession. Communication, always learn to communicate. Communication can solve a lot of problems. And number 2, we trust the people in our surrounding and our team. The trust can always build a better relationship. And the respect, always respect each other. Sometimes, we become very big or very popular, we tend to, become a little bit, arrogant. I always tell my children or any of these young veterinarians or anyone for the sake that no matter how high you go, no matter how big you grow, always stay humble. So only when you stay humble, you will be able to respect each other. I would like to share these quotes. Where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. So with that, I would like to say everything starts from you. So from you, then you go externally. So if each one of us are doing things, the right way, though doing the right things can be difficult, but let's do it the right way and do our best to, achieve whatever that we need to achieve. And I am very hopeful with for the veterinary field in Nigeria, someday that it will get to where it's supposed to get. With that, I would like to say thank you and happy World Veterinary Day. And yes, thank you. And Dr. Abiodun, back to you. I hope I did not bore anyone. I hope nobody fell asleep.